Praise be Jesus Christ. This is a continuation of the novena to Our Lady of Mount Carmel, day 2. We spoke about the magnanimity of Joseph's mercy towards his brothers who had betrayed him back in the day. And now that the tables were turned, the way he released them from all the fears that he would take revenge on them. And his response to them was, to paraphrase, what you intended for evil, God intended for good, in order that many lives may be saved. This is an expression of what in our Christian tradition we call, "O happy fault." Where does that expression come from? From the Easter proclamation that is sung by a minister at the Easter Vigil, the most important day of worship for us as Christians, the day that Jesus rose from the dead victorious. And in this Magnificat of the church, magnifying the Lord for the grandeur of his mercy, the wonders of his mercy, it's acknowledging the sacred mystery of how God brings light out of darkness, good out of evil, victory out of tragedy. And that expression, "O happy fault," is particularly referring to the sin and fall of Adam, and recognizing from one perspective, had he not fallen, God would not have, well, let me reword that. Not God would not. We can't put limits on the Lord. But had he not fallen, would we have such an awesome Redeemer, redemption, as we see in the sacred mystery of the incarnate Word, his self-emptying and his manifestation through the signs and wonders of his public ministry, through the power of his communicated word, to the healing and liberation of so many that would prepare the way for the cross, the resurrection, and Pentecost. This expression, "O happy fault," is a reference to the economy of God's craftsmanship, his sovereign power working in all things and bringing all things into union with himself. That doesn't imply that in the end, all will be saved. Unfortunately, it doesn't imply that sin doesn't matter and truth is relative. But what it does emphasize and focus on is not taking the problems of this world so seriously and forgetting that the cross is not the end of the story, that there is victory on the other side of every tragedy eventually. "O happy fault" means that God brings good out of everything, even the ugliness of our own sin. O blessed fault, O blessed fall that brings forth a manifestation of grace. St. Paul said in Romans, where sin abounds, grace abounds all the more abundantly. And for that reason, in faith, because God is a master at creating a masterpiece out of a mess, out of bringing beauty out of brokenness, because he is so skilled in that department to save souls that will live with him for all eternity, we can trust and believe in there being a divine comedy, that God's love will have the last word, and even the worst of our past can be used to elevate us to a new level of life. This is the Paschal mystery, cross and resurrection. O happy fault. May we come to have faith in knowing the promise and truth of Romans 8:28. God works all things for the good of those who love him. And in that sense, we can say, it's all good. May the Lord bless us, protect us from all evil, and bring us to everlasting life.